This video is going to talk about dividing fractions. And again, what you're going to notice about dividing fractions, just like you did when dividing whole numbers, is that dividing fractions is going to leave you with larger numbers because you're going to have more of the things, even though they're broken up into smaller groups. So, in the example 1/2 divided by 1/4, what we need to do is we have one whole here. But what we're only talking about 1/2 of it, because we only have a half that's being asked for at the beginning of the problem, which means that essentially we're going to ignore this other half. We're just going to get it off the chart. But we do know that there was once one whole here. So when we divide 1/2 into quarter pieces, what that means is that, taking this into account, we still have this one whole broken up into quarter pieces, but we only care about this section. So 1/2 broken up into quarter pieces is 2. So let's take a look at what that looks like when we actually have the numbers and not the picture. So 1/2 divided by 1/4. We have the same rule that we were using before, which is multiply the reciprocal. So that means that 1/2 stays the same. The division sign changes to a multiplication sign, and 1/4 changes to its flip-flop, changes to 4/1. Now we're going to multiply, and if you can remember from multiplying with fractions, we can auto-simplify down here, so the 2 becomes a 1, 4 becomes a 2. Because these are both divisible by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2/1 is the same thing as 2, which is the same thing that we got up here. So all you have to do is remember, multiply the reciprocal. Let's take a look at my abbreviated word problem up here. If we have a 2/3 pound bag of candy, and we need 1/9 pound bags, we want to know how many bags can I actually make? How many 1/9 pound bags? And at first this sounds really confusing because we've got a whole bunch of fractions in here, and fractions tend to kind of jumble your thoughts a little bit. So when you think about this to figure out what to do, put in whole numbers. Let's say we have a 2-pound bag of candy and we need 9-pound bags. If we had a 2-pound bag of candy, we needed 1-pound bags. We would divide. 2 divided by 1 is 2, so we'd get 2 bags out of that. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to divide 2/3 into 1/9. So first thing I need to do is I need to get this whole into 2/3. There's my 1/3. There's my 2/3. Here's the 3/3 that the problem isn't worried about because it only says 2/3, not 3/3. Then it says I need 1/9 pound bags. So right now I've got my 2/3 divided by 1/9. So I need to split 2/3 into 9ths. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got that split into 9ths. And how many bags can I make out of that? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this says I can make 6 pounds. So let's go ahead and take a look at this using the numbers and not the drawing. Let's see if we get the same thing. 2/3 stays the same. The division sign changes to multiplication. 1/9 changes to its flip-flop. It changes to the reciprocal, which is 9/1. Now, 3 and 9 can both be divided by 3. So I have 2 times 3 equals 6. And my answer is 6/1, which is the same thing as 6. let's take a look at our last problem, which is 5 over 7 divided by 10. Now when I have 5 over 7 divided by 10, I notice that that 10 is not a fraction. But because we're going to use the reciprocal, it's about to be. So let's prepare for that, and let's put 10 over 1, because any whole number can be made into a fraction by putting it over 1. So 5 over 7 stays the same. The division sign changes to a multiplication, and that 10 over 1 is going to change to 1 over 10. Now I can do a little bit of simplifying here, because 5 and 10 can both be divided by 5. And now I'm left with 1 over 7 times 2 is 14. I'm left with 1/14. The problem that you're going to be solving in the form is 8 over 9 divided by 4.